Так, я надеюсь, меня слышно? Так, я надеюсь, меня слышно? Отлично. Всем здрасте, у меня, оказывается, стрим прервался, и я уже 5 минут, или... Да, около 5 или 10 минут не стримлю, что печально. Ну да ладно, вроде ничего сильного не произошло. Сейчас, думаю, с этой точки продолжу, и, собственно говоря, с этой начну. Вот. Да, тот стрим оставлю, на всякий случай, который был короткий. Пусть будет. Так, мне нужно... Я только что поговорил с репортершей, она рассказала, что тут просто газету напечатали, и, собственно говоря, все, что произошло. Теперь мне нужно пойти отправиться в Пуассон, чтобы, видимо, с кем-то из них поговорить. Да, вот. Варкнемся сюда. Оп. Вау. Рыбу собери, что на тебя валяется на земле? Ты же ее потом поди продавать будешь, да? Так, мы с Нави будем общаться, понятно. У нее какой-то новый наряд, что ли?
Oh, it's you.
А, нет, тот же.
What brings you all here?
Hey, we're just having a look around. I'm here to update myself on how things are going here. Oh, the Fatui are here too.
Да, любопытно. Они так хорошо обыграли их, что они теперь... Хорошо так их обыграли, что теперь Фатуи, типа, добрые.
We've lost a lot of people, but we're moving forward. That will have to be enough.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats.
О бродячих кошках? Тебе что, читать больше
But if you
нечего,
don't
что ли?
mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be fine. Thanks.
Ты смотри-ка. Они еще и светиться не хотят. По-любому что-то задумывают.
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clarence?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat. All right. She really came here to help me out.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision makers. And, well, I do already happen to be connected to Mr. Callis.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel. About what it was like facing down a god. There's lots of exciting material there, I bet.
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
Как она ее легко отбрила просто такая. Иди-ка ты в одно место.
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me.
Ну ладно.
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots.
И пошла все в округе фоткать. Шарлотта щелка затвором, делает несколько фотографий по Пуассону. И что-то еще там. Ты уже знаешь, что она туда собирается?
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Nervillette, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
А этот сидит, слушает, наматывает на ус. Он же с соседней страны.
When did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Ridsley will make a personal appearance.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them. In which case, I'll be making a move first.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
Так, допустим, с этими мы пообщались. Теперь мы катим в миропит. Понятно, мы, короче, со всеми говорим. Как мне можно сюда быстро? Вот сюда, наверное. Оп. Уи, пункс. Такой еще перекатился, прям паркурщик. Все дела.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Тюряга, блин.
Looks like
Вторая
you've been
ходка.
missing us.
Duke, did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Что еще за
Of
соглашение?
course.
Типа она пишет
Alright, then.
статью, что здесь
This way.
хорошо у них? Или что? Чтоб все повалили туда? А, понятно, еще фотки этих двух влюбленных.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need. Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be published on the cover of the Steambird?
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier, hmm?
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you, then?
No, I just... This is my first time being interviewed, and I'm very thankful to the Steambird for...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. You've definitely got more of that genius vibe going on. The boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back there, like an emissary of legend. Still, if
Ему
I might
можно в
ask,
академию поступить,
where's that
защитить
flying ship
там,
now?
диссертацию.
Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive scoop.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Короче, он просто не пускает
Well,
его.
then in that
её.
case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
Она действительно умеет выжимать из каждой возможности все до последней капли.
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. We've seen this kind of thing before.
Ну что?
Oh, seems like
А, вот и
everyone's
медсестра,
here.
собственно говоря.
Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
Ah, Siegeween.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head nurse? Sure. Come on, Miss Siegeween. Over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Блин, так она сама светится. Тебе жалко, что ли? Фотка здесь, здесь все.
Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the fortress?
И молчание такое просто.
Same old, same old. That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurier? Miss Lorvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want that, which is a pity.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two.
Вы прогуливаетесь с Ризли и делитесь новостями с поверхности.
I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Он еще их посадит сейчас.
Actually, what
Неплохо.
about you? Are things gonna change for you too?
What change can there be? The fortress duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
К Фурине
There'll
побежим?
be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story. Until then.
Так,
All right. Last stop, the docks.
порт. Так, а нам вниз надо. Быстрее будет, если я просто спрыгну. Давай, сейчас вот подлетим сюда и это устроим полет просто вниз. Уи! Блин, так-то много метров полететь. Оп! Приземлился. А, мы еще с Лини, Линет и со всеми этими не встретились.
I haven't seen them! They really are here! How did you know?
Она же
Navia
журналист.
mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole time since.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket?
Ну,
What
если
sort of
честно,
gadget
дизайн
is it?
вот этих Лини и Линет
It's a
неплохой.
wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you.
Trick a friend? I wonder which of my friends would fall for that.
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Нерадивый ты наш. Давай.
Is this what you meant by I'll help you make some more friends?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure.
Зови ее на свиданку. Она болтливая, а ты не очень.
Write down
Вы
my
компенсируйте
address.
друг друга.
Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine
Я видел, что
socialize.
в Сумеру шаурму продают. Сгоняйте шаурму
He was
пошхамечь.
the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Ему подойдет.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll become a part of our show eventually.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants to take a picture of us.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. So, how have things been, traveler?
А как она узнала, что ты хочешь на ней поговорить? Это капец надо быть мозгом. Ладно. Дела у меня неплохо.
Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fontaine.
That's all right. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well,
Нет, не слышали, давай
after
рассказывай.
Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Nervillet opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a...
А, ну вот все, ради
Diplomatic
чего
gift.
нужно было. Они сердце Бога все собирают. Всех сердца.
Diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it over, there were actually a number of things going for it. It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
Ну, что правда, то правда. Неплохо они так помогли, на
This is
самом
the
деле.
gnosis we're talking about. Doesn't this seem a bit irresponsible?
А вот Пайман
I would
рассуждает как
agree,
ребенок.
but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Nervillet has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
Ну, видимо, мы сейчас пойдем к Невелету и
So
узнаем,
there's
почему.
some reason for this that only Nervillet knows about?
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes, speaking of which, I did see him strolling around the entrance to the fortress of Meripede a while back.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? Paimon didn't think he'd have the time for that. But epic. The Gnosis was given to the knave, right? What about Child?
Да, и
They
вот в
say
итоге
that he's
нашли.
returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
Ну, думаю, теперь я могу считать его боевым товарищем.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be
А вот это
allies
действительно
this
удивительно.
time.
Против них дерешься,
So
дерешься, а теперь мы
shocked by
типа
such a
это.
simple switching of sides?
О, ведьма. А, нет. Отец, слуга.
Well, well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the traveler by chance. Please do not pay my
Ой, да что ты
accomplishments
врешь, тебе
from
сердце
too
Бога надо
much
было.
mind.
И все.
I would have done them regardless.
Are you going to take the Gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
That is our duty as harbingers, yes. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done.
Ты не изменишь позицию?
Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever? As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
А, кстати, да, у меня же этот... Как его? Как это называется-то? Я забыл. Да, кстати, передай это Чайлду, пожалуйста.
A vision.
Глаз Бога, вот, помню.
All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire time.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You're...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I will.
Как она
The sea
напугалась.
breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable. Farewell.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews.
Да тебе не для одной статьи, для нескольких
More
хватит.
than enough for me to write about, I'm sure.
Я думаю.
Don't
Можно
be
по
too
каждому
nervous.
пункту отдельно
Why don't you
написать.
take a magic pocket before you go? Here, traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. And what do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now.
Зато сейчас у тебя его,
So
их
many
точно...
I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths, and serendipity will lead you to your fated friends. All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later, so we'll get going now. Have a good day, you two.
Так, и разбежались все, да?
Well, guess we sent Charlotte off. Should we go see what Nicolette's doing? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway.
Так, ну получается остался Невелет и Фурина. Два диалога, по идее. Так, как мне сюда? Вот сюда. Оп. Ну, побежали. Поищите Невелета. Давай искать. Оп, оп. Так. Что в итоге-то? Раз, два, три, раз, два, три. Блин, я из этого приближения чуть вниз не сиганул, блин. Зараза. Итак.
So, you really are here, Neuvillette? Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some
О,
things
ты
that I haven't
расскажешь,
had the time
почему
to
ты глаз
before.
Бога отдал?
Aw, Paimon's glad that you
Глаз
remembered.
сердца
Thank
Бога.
you for keeping us on your mind, what with you being busy and all. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
Невелет тихо вздыхает, прежде чем рассказать вам правду о том, что он видел в тот день. Фолоколос обманула небесный порядок, воспользовалась бесконечным спектаклем Фурины, чтобы спасти Фонтейн.
So that's what happened?
Я сам видел только роль Фурины.
Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a
То, что они там
elemental
вместе
dragon
болтали,
sovereign.
рассказал про это. Все, я
But
сообразил.
Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontanians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet.
Интересно.
In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone.
Можно сказать, что именно в тот момент фонтейнцы родились по-настоящему.
Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids
Но это
into real
получилось
people too.
ценой одного архонта. Неплохо.
It seems from your
Самопожертвование.
expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask.
Какие у меня вопросы?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Мне их много. Тот приговор вынесенный Чайлду.
I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the
Это он
all-devouring
ее
narwhal.
пробудил.
But
Неплохо.
whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association, or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption the
Да
creature
скорее
off,
второе. Она такая
I can't
прошаренная.
say.
По-любому
Guess
запустил.
Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon suddenly... Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual.
Вон оно
Those
как.
Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets it now. Either way, it seems like this ritual won't be of any further use, but it'll probably live on as a local custom.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Что ждет Фонтейн в будущем?
Yeah, about that. Risley said Farina has already left. What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House.
Теперь ты
I
управляешь,
related
получается.
Focalor's words
Я
to her
понял.
faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest. Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out
500
of the
лет
Opera House.
страдать, наверное,
Well, I
да.
know how
Отдохнуть
important
хотелось
a
бы.
person might.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
Для этого волнует,
You
серьезно?
need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel. Happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal. She no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon. She can finally lay down her burdens and lead a normal life.
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've regained your full powers?
In a manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Iudex shall coexist within my person. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it?
А зачем он сейчас? А, типа питать город, да?
Where are they getting their energy from?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Расскажи о сердце бога Фонтейна. Да, что вообще произошло? Как ты его дал?
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need the Gnosis's power. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
Ну, в принципе, да.
What complicated considerations? Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude to the knave and as an apology to Child.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Насчет следующего моего пункта назначения.
You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume.
О, Натлан. Что это?
I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land.
Что это?
As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
О, это огонь, я понял.
You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful to you. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
Captain. Это новый Фату, да?
Real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
Так, в смысле что-нибудь затевать? Логично, что они ищут
yourself before
сердце
going
бога.
to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you.
Ладно.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Да у меня, в принципе, больше нет вопросов.
Hang on a sec. Paimon still got a question about the Gnosis.
У тебя?
When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. They are certainly sharp. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Давай. Показывай, как это было. Что за черный экран? А, мы сейчас за него играть, что ли? Интересно.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Nervalet?
А, вот он с ней поговорил.
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third Descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
Останки. Любопытно.
According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense, which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my